Hello everyone. Today I'm going to do the poem Manipur, Why Shouldn't I Love Your Hills, written by Tangjam Aibopishik. He's a Manipuri poet, writer. Let's begin with the poem here. First, introducing the author. Who is he? Tangjam Singh is among the leading and most popular poets of the northeast of India. Based in Imphal, he writes in Manipuri and this is the language of the indigenous Métis community. He has published 6 volumes of poetry, 3 of which earned him some of the most prestigious awards in the state, including the Manipur State Kala Academy Award in 1986, the Jamini Sundar Guha Gold Medal in 1989, the first Jananeta Irabot Award in 1997, and the Akshangbam Minaketan Memorial Award in 2005. Aibopishik also won the Sahitya Academy Award for Poetry in 1997, which is one of the most prestigious awards of the country also in literature. Aibopishik's poetry is a dense and textured construct. Images yield new resonances at successive readings. So the poetry is full of meanings, and he uses images, he uses figures of speech in order to exemplify his idea, his point of view, and his meaning to the readers. Okay, approaching the text. The image of Northeast. Before we begin the poem, I actually wanted to discuss here, when we are approaching this text, when we are approaching this poem, we need to understand the background related to the Northeast region. What are the problems there? What is the beauty of the region? Why is poet feeling nostalgic about the place? Or is there any other thing that is to be told about the region in order to understand the poem? So I would like to raise the contexts also here. The image of Northeast region of the country is that it is a mosaic of tribal culture. So most of you might be aware also that how the northeastern people are treated and considered as not completely similar and part of the rest of the parts of the country. That it is very remote, that it is full of trees and mountains, and that it is a troubled place with lots of insurgency and army and counter-insurgency operations. So northeastern states are very popular for the problems of insurgency, and due to that army control which is present there, and the counter-insurgency operations which going on in those states because of this establishment. Many people also associate the region with a beautiful landscape, a naturalist's paradise, a land of big river and colorful festivals and worship of benevolent gods and goddesses. It showcases a rich variety of tribal culture and natural beauty that has drawn a good deal of attention. So, northeastern places or states show a rich variety of tribal culture. Yes, okay. The natural beauty that exists there, correct. And along with that, the troubles and the problems of insurgencies and counter-insurgencies which are going on in the state. So this is what Northeast is built up of. In present circumstances, in today's dates also, when we look into the state's scenario, we find that how people are not at all happy with the army establishments there, and they go on showing their resistance to those establishments through their counter-insurgency operations. Contradictorily, however, the region is also known for its political instability. So one is natural beauty, the natural landscape which is so beautiful there, the rich variety of tribal culture, and third is political instability which is so prominent in the place, that stems from a variety of causes. There are reasons why it exists. The poet of the region have become continually examining the nature of these causes and attempting to give voice to their concern for the growing deterioration that seems to be pervasive to the region. So this poem is basically the poet's love for the state Manipur, and he is trying to see that why the state has become so politically unstable. It is because of the people there themselves, or it is because of some outside interference which has made the state so vulnerable. So he is just trying to voice the concerns of the people there, and he's also trying to voice in this poem that how the state is deteriorating day by day, and the state has lost its calmness, peace, and it is not at all anymore considered to be one of the most beautiful places. Here, men and women with common origin but different nationalities exist, and they share a racial, historic, anthropological, and linguistic kinship with each other that seem to be more vital than their links with the rest of the country. So, this is how, maybe because of the people belonging from different nationalities are sitting together there, are existing together. So they all are sharing different historical, anthropological, linguistic backgrounds, but they have something in common with them that unites them there and feel the common pain. So looking into the poem, you all need to understand first what is Northeast region, what is Manipur, what are the problems in Manipur, how it is problematic and troublesome to the localites there. And in this poem, the poet is trying to put the concern up, telling that it is not the people who have created the problems there, it is the outsiders coming in and creating political instability in the beautiful landscape. Okay, now about this poem, just a gist of it, I would say, a summarizing in order to make you go ahead a little better. The poem expresses deep love for his land Manipur. While expressing the beauty of the land, the poet shows a deep fear and anxiety of the lost identity. The identity of Manipur. What was the identity of Manipur? It was a land of peace, beauty, calm, and grace. They reveal a taste for satire which is savage and Swiftian. So one, that it is his expression of deep love for Manipur and his fear and anxiety that how the identity of Manipur is lost. Second, the satire which he is trying to put upon, that is the politics, the political people who are spoiling the state. The vision is dark, the indictment of the region gripped by insurgency, terrorism, ethnic conflict, and state brutality is corrosive and unrelenting. So when he's satirizing this, when he's criticizing in a Swiftian technique, what he's trying to do is, he is trying to talk about how our state is gripped by insurgency now, terrorism now, and ethnic conflict. And all the state brutalities which are going on upon the people. Innocent people, he would rather say it indirectly. Third, he talks about the problems that the Manipur people are facing. The insurgency, the riots, and the instability in the state has caused a lot of mental harm to the Manipuris. Bopishak's poetry is a dense and textured construct. Images yield new resonances at successive readings. So let's read the text and interpret it in our way. Manipur, why shouldn't I love your hills? Marshes, rivers, fields, open spaces. Manipur, I love your hills. Marshes, river, green fields, meadows, blue sky. Why shouldn't I love them? I never had a quarrel with them. So, in this part of the text, you might see that the first two lines are getting repeated. Why? Because he is questioning that despite all the problems and the political instability going on in the state, why should I withdraw my love from Manipur? Because Manipur has so much of natural beauty. It is so much my own state that still, after all these problems, I cannot withdraw my love from the state, the place. The first two lines is a question raised by the poet to talk about the beauty of the place, and due to that, he cannot stop being in love in Manipur. With the hills, marshes, rivers flowing, beautiful green fields, the clear blue sky, the poet informs that he has always loved Manipur for its charm, and his quarrel on Manipur issue is due to the political havoc that has created the problems here for the people. So I never had a quarrel with them. The last line here. Never had a quarrel with whom? With all the beauties of Manipur place. That is hills, marshes, rivers. My quarrel is not with them. My quarrel is not with the people. They have not created any problem. My quarrel is with the political scenario. To go on. Next. When I scold, I never see the hills. Indignant, the rivers never retorted. When do you hear the sky speak with hurt? Who else is there if you don't blame them? You cannot speak against men. But your hill-grown valley nurtured sweet fruits, flowers, corns, grains I love, not because I get to eat them for free. Even I do not get them sometimes. Yet they never say that they will never come up, they will never eat me up. Fruits never bite men, flowers never sucked blood. So, in the first stanza, he tells that whenever I'm scolding, I never see the hills are angry towards me because they still love me. They still have the same love for me as they had earlier. They are all the same. The beauties that exist in Manipur still remain the same. To interpret, let's see. Scold here refers to the poet's criticism to the political problems that spoil the beauty of the place. The hills and rivers stay the same forever. The bounties of the place is highlighted in this stanza. Sweet fruits, flowers, corn, grains, everything is great about the place. Yet it is an irony that the people are still not at peace here because due to political disturbances. The poet is getting nostalgic about the lost beauty and peace of the place. Fruits never bite, flowers never suck. It implies that the love that this place gives to everyone, yet they are troubled. So fruits and flowers never bite and suck. That is, they never create any problems for anyone. Yet outsiders are entering and troubling the beauty and the calmness of the people. So it is not the Manipur which has created all these issues around themselves. It is the outsiders who have entered and created this political instability which was not at all required. Moving on, Manipur, your hills, marshes, river, fields, meadows, blue sky, I love. So again, he's expressing his love for the place. Who can I love more than this? This is the best thing I have seen in my life. If I do not love them, they are not insects, mosquitoes, flies, or leeches. Fields never become citizens of his country. We never hear of rivers parading as leaders. Those who don't heads and remove them again. Those whose hands remain still when they open their mouths. Those whose mouths remain silent when their hands pilfer, trifling with us through the ears. Repeatedly, they turn us upside down at will. So begins mentioning about his extreme and abundant love for Manipur here. Rivers parading leaders, that is, no one here tries to impose its authority over others. Rivers never parade, rivers never dominate anybody. They are just flowing quite silently and calmly and happily. It is the outside domination and control who are indifferent to the pains and sorrows of the people here. And the words insects, mosquitoes, flies, what are these references to? They are references to the political people who come here like insects, like mosquitoes and like flies and eat up the things around us or bite us. They are spreading the problems. So they are not mosquitoes, they are not insects, they are not flies. What does it mean? They are not leeches. That is, our fields are all clear of all these problems. We never had all these issues here. It is the political people who have come from outside in order to gain control over the state and created all the miseries and problems for us. Rivers and mountains were all silent. They never act as leaders here. Nobody dominates here. So towards the end, reflect on the paradoxes. Now he is reflecting on the paradoxes of existence in the region to transmit the pains and fears of the people and to warn them against moral and social dangers. They have to meet the double challenge of truth and liberty, of identity and unity, of cultural loss and recovery, of ethnic specificity and aesthetic universality. They are caught between the two threads of liberty from the armed terrorists and the armed state. So poor innocent people, they have nothing to do, yet they are the sufferers. First at the hands of the armed state and creating problems of insurgency, and then at the hands of armed terrorists creating problems of counterinsurgency. So between these insurgencies and counterinsurgencies, these poor innocent people of Manipur and the whole beauty of Manipur is staked at. They are troubled at. So this is what he is trying to tell, that how we are caught between the situations. Towards the end of the poem, he says, but your hills, marshes, rivers, trees, bamboo, emerald fields, open spaces I truly love. So emerald fields are green fields, the green lush green fields which are always green throughout the year. The poem here alternate between sarcasm and contemplation now. Towards the end, he is again showing his sarcasm towards the political instability and its contemplation, that how will things change? This is how we are put into the trouble. How will we overcome it now? Solitude and society, the ecstasy of the bounties of Manipur. Nature, bearing the imprint of beauties and bounties, is an overwhelming presence in the poem. The river with its magical effect, the resounding hills, the land heavy with memories, the forest that is dense with its riches are all things that make him talk about his unrelenting love for the hills. So, the entire poem is his nostalgia for the beauty of Manipur, which is decreasing, deteriorating day by day, and his sarcasm upon the political instability which has been created and the mess up between which the people have been caught, as in between the armed state and the armed terrorists. So, looking at the questions here quickly, first mention some of the features of Manipur loved by the poet. So, you can pull out here the features that he is looking at: the beautiful fields, the marshes, the land, the mountains, the hills, the green fields, all those things, the flowers. What are the things that the poet gets to eat for free? That is, he is talking about that I get all the bounties of resources, the food, corn and all free here, which means it is available in abundance. Third, who do you think the poet is referring to as mosquitoes, flies and leeches? I mentioned already in explanation, it mentions to the political people who are spoil the situation here. Fourth, what does the poet mean by hands pilfer? Hands pilfer means the people who are just dominating you, trying their hands upon you and are taking away all the resources. Fifth, they turn us upside down at hill. Whom does the poet refer to as they and us? They is the political people and us means the people of Manipur. Why does the poet love his land? Poet love his land because of the bounties it carries, the beauty it carries, the landscape it has, and also because it is his homeland. Seventh, what according to the poet is happening in the land of Manipur? Political insurgencies, counter-insurgencies and lots of political instability which has spoiled the situation of Manipur. Eighth, the poem is a strong reflection of unconditional love of nature as opposed to the selfish greed of man. Discuss the poem in light of above statement. So here in this answer, you're going to talk about his love for Manipur, as he is talking even today when everything is being spoiled in Manipur, yet he cannot stop loving it. So that is his unconditional love. And the selfish greed of man, he will be highlighting that how for political control and domination, people are ready to spoil a beautiful state. Next, ninth question, write a detailed note on the powerful and evocative description of nature brought out by the poet in this poem. So now again your answer will be focusing on the description of beauty, powerful, evocative, that raises your eyebrows also about the beauty that Manipur carries and the poet's love. Unconditional love, again you can mention here about the nature and the beauty of Manipur. And in this answer you can also be mentioning about the political instability which has created a little disturbance for the poet, yet he goes on speaking, yet he goes on expressing his love for them. So I hope the session was very useful for you. If there are any doubts, it is most welcome. Thank you so much.